Europe could deploy about 100,000 troops to Ukraine as peacekeepers. The so-called deterrent force could be formed by a coalition of 5 to 8 countries, a Ukrainian official told Reuters on condition of anonymity. Analysts and officials are reported to be giving different estimates of the size of such a force, stressing that much will depend on its specific mission. It is believed that about 40,000 European troops would be appropriate. According to Austrian military expert Franz Stefan Gadi, now at the International Institute for Strategic Studies under a rotation scheme where units prepare for deployment and recover after deployment, a mission could involve about 100,000 troops. This will certainly stretch European ground forces considerably, he noted. In addition, he stressed that in such a case, European countries would have to reduce other missions, in particular, peacekeeping in the Balkans. Italian Defense Minister Guido Crosetto has said peacekeepers should operate under the auspices of the United Nations, but other officials say that would give Russia, a permanent member of the UN Security Council, too much influence. The media also says Europe will have to persuade the United States to participate, at least in intelligence and other operational support. Earlier, the former advisor to the US Secretary of State noted that every country that is a member of NATO can send peacekeepers to Ukraine without permission. Former US Secretary of State advisor Matthew Bryza said that each NATO country can send its peacekeeping troops to Ukraine without permission from the entire alliance. It is quite possible that any of these countries could offer their peacekeeping forces outside NATO. However, it is not entirely clear to me whether some kind of umbrella organization or special mandate is needed for this. NATO members can act independently, including deploying their peacekeeping forces, since they will definitely not be able to obtain a mandate from the UN Security Council without Russia's consent. And Russia will obviously never agree to NATO members sending their peacekeepers to Ukrainian territory. But this is not the problem, he said. According to the diplomat, only Ukraine should decide and give permission for the deployment of peacekeeping forces on its own territory. Also, each NATO country has the sovereign right to deploy its own peacekeepers without the approval of the UN and the alliance.
At least 11 people died after a fire engulfed the entrance of a cafe in the Vietnamese capital shortly before midnight on Wednesday, trapping people inside, local authorities reported. The blaze blocked the entrance to the cafe and emitted thick smoke into the 3-story building where over a dozen people were inside, officials said. The fire was extinguished after an hour, they said, adding 7 people were rescued after managing to get onto a balcony. 11 bodies were later brought out on stretchers. Police said the victims died of smoke inhalation. Officers later said they had arrested a 51-year-old man in connection with the blaze.
We've just learned that a 9-year-old child is among the 5 people who died after a car plowed into a crowded Christmas market there in Germany. At least 200 more were injured in what authorities are calling a deliberate attack. The suspect, a 50-year-old doctor, is in custody, but investigators say that they need more time to determine a motive. Foreign correspondent Tom Sufi Burridge is right there outside that market in Magdeburg, Germany. Tom, thank you so much for joining us here again. German police just gave a press conference. What more are we learning about the victims and how this attack unfolded here?
Yeah, Joe, police giving that press conference nearly 24 hours on from this horrific attack at the Christmas market here. And they said the attack in total lasted all of 3 minutes. The driver of that BMW, he rented the BMW, he came into the market at that end and basically careered right down. There's a road just behind that police officer there. You can see there are concrete bollards, the red one there, the green one over here, trying to stop vehicles getting in. But effectively, according to police, he took advantage of one access point for the vehicles, the emergency vehicles, to get in and out of the market. We're actually joined by Shirin, a local nurse here, who was here at the time with your young daughter and your husband. I mean, just tell us where you were and what you saw and you felt.
Yes, I was here in the cabin drinking some hot drinks with my daughter and with my husband when we felt some vibration, and then we went outside.
That was the car. You could actually feel...
Yeah, we felt the car. It was so fast. It was so... We felt the hate in the car, and then we got outside and saw the car rampage over the hallway, took everything with him.
Oh, it's absolutely awful. No, you're so brave for talking to us live on TV, and we appreciate it. And you're, as a nurse, like so many people here, you told me that you rallied round. You were actually treating some of these heavily injured people just over here.
Yes, it was really many people, head on head, foot on hood. Some were broken, some
broken bones.
Yeah,
you could
broken
see.
bones.
And you actually helped reanimate someone. You did CPR on somebody just over here.
Well, just over here, yes.
And what is the mood here like in your city tonight?
I think we are all really lovely to each other and really helpful to each other. The city stands still. It's really awful, but I think we can move on. I think we can go over it.
Yeah. Even the hateful actions of one person, the community's coming together.
I mean, yesterday I saw how helpful everyone are, and nobody looked away, nobody ran away, and it was really, I don't have any words right now.
We've had that from other people today, very brave people, and thank you very much for talking to us. Clearly, you know, people are just at a loss as to why this would happen, why someone would carry out such a horrific attack, Gio. And you can probably see the church just behind the Christmas market up there. There'll be a vigil in about an hour for the victims. And as you said, we now know a 9-year-old child was among the victims, 4 adults as well who have been killed so far. And police saying 41 of the 200 people injured are in a critical condition, and some of them are fighting for their lives tonight. Gio?
What a powerful interview, Tom, and you can sense the trauma there that she is still feeling. Can you show us, because you have those barricades right behind you, and so some people might wonder, well, how did the car actually get through? Could you show us how it is that this car actually made its way through there?
Yeah, I mean, just take a couple of steps here. I mean, you'll see that there are these massive concrete bollards, Gio. And, you know, the perimeter of the Christmas market, it's not a huge area. You can see some of the stalls going down. I mean, there is a bit of a chaotic scene of debris, sort of, if you look down that way. But there is this road, and effectively it starts up that end, and that's what happened. The driver, the attacker of that BMW that he rented, came in at that end, and in the space of 3 minutes, he hurtled down that road into an incredibly crowded area. We spoke to people earlier, and they said it was full of children. Remember, you know, school finished at the end of term yesterday evening, so many families were just coming down here celebrating the beginning of Christmas. And, you know, we're never expecting such a horrific thing to happen here in their city and of all places at the Christmas market. Gio?
Yeah, and we saw her shock there as she described what it is that she saw. Tom, thank you for your very powerful reporting on a really tragic story. We so appreciate it. Thank you.
The death toll rising today in the wake of that attack on a German Christmas market. Investigators scrambling for answers, and police are about to provide an update. Welcome, everyone. I'm Edward Lawrence, and this is Fox News Live. Let's get right to Stephanie Bennett in London with the latest on this attack. Stephanie, what's going on?
Hey, Edward, yeah, at last check, at least 5 people have been killed and more than 200 others are injured. Authorities say 41 of those are seriously injured. Now, the city's mayor says they will be holding a memorial service later tonight to honor the victims, and a suspect is in custody. Take a look at some of this footage from last night. The attack happened about 100 miles west of Berlin in Magdeburg, just 5 days before Christmas. The market was obviously packed with people spending their Friday night with family and friends, shopping and eating. Witnesses say around 7 local time, a rented black BMW drove at a high speed, plowing through the crowd. As a precaution, other Christmas markets in Germany shut down last night, and many around the world have even upped their security, including in New York City. Over the years, markets have added things like 24/7 security, steel concrete barriers, just as precautions. Well, local reports say the market will not reopen this year, and the Prime Minister said, quote, "We will fly the flags at half-mast to express what a tragedy has taken place here and that we all share in the suffering that has been inflicted." That was the local Prime Minister. Now, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, he visited the site this morning, saying today will be a day of grieving and mourning.
It is now important that we clarify the situation and that this is done with the utmost precision and accuracy. Nothing must remain uninvestigated. We must understand the perpetrator, his actions, his motives, so that we can respond with the necessary criminal and other consequences. And we will.
A 50-year-old Saudi Arabian doctor who first came to Germany in 2006 is in custody. Authorities have not yet released a motive, but say he was acting alone. Today, they're going to be focusing on his background, and we'll be checking things like his internet history and his cell phone. Now, this comes almost 8 years to the day when 12 people were killed in Berlin after a truck rammed through a Christmas market there. So-called Islamic State said one of its soldiers carried out that attack. And earlier this month, police say they foiled a potential terror attack on a Christmas market in Bavaria after a tip-off there. For now, again, as you mentioned, German police are expected to give an update shortly, and hopefully we'll get some more answers to a lot of questions. Edward.
Yeah, Stephanie, before you go, I wanted to ask you, one of the victims, one of the dead is a young child. Of the 41 that are critical, could we see this death toll rise?
Yeah, I think it's definitely certain that the death toll will rise, unfortunately. Last night, we knew of the 2 victims, as you mentioned, one of them being a very young toddler and also another adult. And at 41 serious condition out of 200. It's very serious right now, and you just saw from those images how packed a Christmas market there was. Of course, these Christmas markets loved around the world, but especially originating in Germany and this close to Christmas as well is very disturbing, very upsetting. So we'll see, hopefully, out of this press conference, what those numbers are looking like now.
Yeah, and one more clarification, the barricades. A lot of these markets do have those barricades. Did this one have barricades, and how did it get around them?
Yeah, exactly. A lot of markets have started adding kind of concrete or steel barriers, some that are permanent, some that can, be put in when the markets are there, some that pop up from the ground. Well, different reports. We've been hearing that there were some concrete barriers, but some of the footage you can see, it looks like maybe they were spaced out a little bit. Maybe they were moved when paramedics came in. But it definitely, looking at the videos that were on social media that have been circling, the car had no issue, just kind of plowing through there, unfortunately. When you think a concrete barrier should be able to stop that car right in its tracks. So hopefully we get some more information out of this press conference coming up.
Yeah, Stephanie, unthinkable. Thank you from London.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.